This is Claim Your Potential, the Empowerment Podcast. I'm Sofie Lindberg, your host and the Executive Director of Claim Your Potential. Get ready to embark on a transformative journey where we empower women and girls to unlock their full potential in every aspect of life. It's time to claim your potential and step into a life of empowerment. Tune in every Tuesday as we ignite your inner strength, provide actionable insights, and empower you to achieve greatness. So, are you ready to claim your potential? Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Claim Your Potential, the Empowerment Podcast. I'm your host, Sofie, and for this episode, we are joined by Tamara Pflug to explore the dynamic topic of building confidence and embracing self-love. Tamara is a passionate, fun, and confidence coach dedicated to empowering women and girls to unlock their full potential. Through her insightful coaching, she helps individuals navigate their journey towards greater self-assurance and joyful living. With a strong belief that fostering self-confidence and self-love can lead to a more fulfilling and empowered life, Tamara has inspired many to overcome challenges, quit their inner critics, and embrace their authentic selves with playfulness and simplicity. Please welcome Tamara. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you so much for having me, Sofie. It's really nice. I'm very excited.
I'm very excited too. And I would love to start our conversation off with hearing a little bit about your journey. What led you to become a fun and confidence coach?
Yes, this is such a great question that I'm always happy to answer. So I used to coach. First, I was a teacher back then in Switzerland. And then I started coaching, people just on general life coaching topics such as time management, weight loss, procrastination. And then I saw that no matter if it's in our professional life or personal life, it often comes down to our self-worth, the way we see ourselves and what we can, we give ourselves permission to believe about ourselves. And then I realized deep down, really, it comes down to confidence, self-esteem, self-love, all of it. So yeah, this is how I became a confidence coach. And I added the tagline fun because I believe that we can all live uncomplicated life and have much more fun. So yeah, this is how I came down to this.
I love that. And I know that so much of what you focus on is confidence. And so for you, why do you believe that feeling confident is so important, especially when it comes to reaching our full potential as women and girls?
Yes, so I do believe, and I feel it so much in my bones, that most of the time what limits us to do anything, no matter what life we want to live, it's really what we believe about ourselves. We limit ourselves. We think that we believe that we are not good enough, that we are not doing enough. All of these thoughts, they are really sneaky ones that actually really stop us from living the life that we truly want to live. So I'm really not on a fight, on a mission to really help women, girls to truly believe more in themselves, because I believe that we can move mountains, we can do so many things when we really believe in ourselves, and we don't need any approval or approbation from anybody else in the world if we give it to ourselves in the first.
Absolutely. And I feel like building self-confidence, at least for me sometimes, can feel like such a daunting task.
Yeah.
And are you able to share any perhaps easy yet impactful steps that a woman or a girl can take right now to instantly boost their confidence and start their journey towards greater self-assurance?
Yes, 100%. The very, very easy thing to start with is to stop believing what we're thinking. Because everybody, you, me, every girl, every woman on this planet, we all have 60,000 thoughts per day. And most of the time we believe them to be true. And then we act in the world thinking these thoughts, and the most of it believing them. So, for example, just thinking a very easy thought such as, I shouldn't have said that. Just imagine the impact that when you say this, how do you behave in the world when we think we shouldn't have said that? It's really hurting our confidence. So the very, very first step, and I find it very easy, is to start with, is to really just seeing thoughts for what they are, just like clouds that are passing in the sky, and not believing everything we're thinking. There is really a difference, and I always love to talk about it also with my clients, that there is a difference between thinking something and believing it. It's just a thought, I see it passing in the sky, I don't have to believe it. And then you detach a bit from the thought, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's something that I've heard a lot of guests talk about is really thinking about what you're thinking and taking the thought for what it is rather than, having that inner critic come out and start
Yeah.
nitpicking and making it worse than it is. So for sure I understand that. That's definitely something that I've faced and struggled with as well is really understanding my thoughts for what they are, for that face value, rather than trying to find all the hidden meanings to why I'm thinking something. So for sure, I definitely understand that. And I'm curious, how do you work with your clients to really help them tame that inner critic and cultivate a more positive and confident mindset?
Yes, so insecurity or, like a lot of self-doubt, it shows really differently in like each one of us. So what I really like, and this is why I'm like very passionate about coaching, is that I believe confidence coaching and actually general coaching also is all about changing big things in life, like by working the everyday things. So each time I'm like to ask, people like my clients and girls and women, like how would like their life look like if they would feel more confident in what situation, especially because as much as like you mentioned it before, confidence, it sounds all of this personal development, self-improvement, it looks amazing. And that's it, at the same time, it looks like a lot of work, like that there's so much to do and such a big topic, like personal development. Everybody has something to say. Everybody has an opinion on how to improve, yourself. So I think I love to come down to very specific situations, and it's always different, for everybody. But deep down, again, it comes down to very sneaky thoughts, as you mentioned before, such as I'm not good enough, I should be doing enough, or I'm not worthy, or they don't approve on me. Like all of these self-judgments, and this is how we start, but with very like specific situation of the day-to-day life.
Yeah. And in terms of in a world that often bombards us with external standards and expectations, how can women and girls really foster an internal sense of confidence that isn't reliant on external validation?
Yes, so I think it's very interesting you mentioned this because I had a conversation today with someone about this. We were all born like babies. When you think about it, just think about a newborn like as tiny as you can imagine it. Him or her that was born and the baby has so much value, like it's so worthy when you think about it, and it didn't do anything. I think that today we really think, the more we grow up, we think that we need to achieve certain things. We need to, I don't know, very cliche, but we need to get married, to have an amazing professional life, but not too much, we need to still have a free time. It needs to look like something to give ourselves like permission to believe that we're worthy. I think that society, often also with like beauty and things, it's a lot of marketing, but it is true that they want to kind of selling a dream that when you're going to get there, when you're going to look like this, you're going to be worthy. So I think that we can never solve internal problems, like which is, I think, confidence. I'm not saying it's an internal problem, but we cannot solve it with external, circumstances or external like accomplishments, because it's, the kind of thing that you always tell somebody, but you're so beautiful or you're so amazing. But if you do not believe it yourself, there's no amount of people that will tell you this, that will make you feel this way. So this is why I think coaching is amazing, is because then you don't depend on anybody in the external world to make you feel confident and to make you, feel worthy. I think deep down, it's really about feeling this worthiness. We all want to be seen, heard, and understood, but we have to give it to ourselves in the first place, for sure.
Oh my goodness, yes. That
You agree?
worthiness. Yes, I was thinking back on my own just my own thoughts and my own experiences with my confidence level, and
Mm,
definitely once I got to that level of, you know what, I feel worthy of the experiences that I have, the success that I'm creating, of the people in my life, of whatever it may be. For sure, my
mm.
confidence definitely changed and went up, and I realized that, you know what, I'm qualified. I'm, successful. I can do this. It's not a problem. I got it. So for sure, I definitely understand that feeling there.
Yeah, I just think here what is very important, and I think there is kind of relief hearing this out, and I wish I would have heard it like many years ago, is that again, like people, when they give us this approval or like they tell us, like I'm proud of you or you're amazing and all of this, it's never even what they're saying. It's, what we make it mean. We then give ourselves permission to believe this about ourselves. And so this is why I'm saying let's skip any post-man, post-woman, and let's just tell it to ourselves and cultivate this belief about ourselves, because I think that there are no upsides ever of beating ourselves up. So I just wanted to add this, that often, we want people's approval and what you mentioned before about external world and like to try to be like good, in the world and to succeed. I truly believe that the first person that needs to give us this approval and approbation is always us. And this is how we build this confidence. And it's an unshakable one, then people can do and be anyone they want around us. But we have this belief in ourselves, that I feel is unshakable.
Yes, absolutely. I was reflecting there for a moment, hence my silence. So much of what you're saying is really resonating with me and my own
Oh,
experiences with my confidence. And I'd love to talk a little bit about your coaching style for a moment here because I feel like so much of what, you're saying and what you believe in, I feel like, is such a interesting and a wonderful connection to your coaching style. And so I know that your approach to coaching really emphasizes fun and uncomplicated living. And so can you elaborate on how incorporating that playfulness and simplicity can contribute to building confidence and a positive self-image?
yes. So I believe, as I mentioned before, that I think, what is the beauty really behind coaching is changing big things by working the everyday things, just because sometimes, like, I used probably to be skeptical, selling my coaching service because people have sometimes, thoughts about it, like, does it work? In what is it different from therapy? Like, many questions. And I really actually love, what I said before about, I love working with my clients on specific situations of their day-to-day life, that it sounds very much, it's specific and not, just being inspired and having positive affirmation to tell yourself in the mirror in the morning. I find it very useful when we talk about real situation of our day-to-day life. So I add really the uncomplicated and the fun, because when you get coached by me, which is a bit different, of course, than a friend, because a friend is really here to support you. But what I'm doing as a coach is that I'm pointing at blind spots or things that you are not aware of what you're thinking and how much it impacts your life. And I believe this is why I'm really feeling good, like being in integrity with myself, being in a fun and confidence coach, because I make it fun. So even the process of getting coached and feeling much more confident in our day-to-day life is fun by itself. Like when I'm coaching my clients, of course, sometimes it gets, we get very vulnerable because it's like turning on the lights in a dark room. You don't really want to see what you're thinking because you don't want to make it mean about something about yourself that you're wrong or that you've been doing wrong until now, but it just, I like to really hold my clients kind of in a bowl, like just making sure that they are being taken care of. But also I like to be not telling them the ugly truth, but to really show them what they're thinking that truly make them feel this way. Because I truly believe, and I have 3 different coaching certifications because I love to use different tricks and tools for my toolbox. And I really believe that our thoughts create our feelings. So if we want to feel more confident, the first thing to do is to see also why we feel insecure. What are we telling ourselves makes us feel insecure? So I hope I answered your question. But this is how I want to say that also coaching is amazing, but I like to make it fun and light because I believe also that we take ourselves and life so seriously. And I'm 100% sure, anyway, we're all going to die, but I'm 100% sure that we can find much more joy and enjoyment, even in these moments when we try to improve ourselves and our lives. It's totally possible to take it way less seriously and still live an amazing life, really.
Yes, I know that when I take things way too seriously, it definitely puts a damper on my happiness when everything comes off as, "Oh my gosh, this is the end of the world if this doesn't happen or if this does happen." And I think that's a quite a big trap that a lot of people fall into, especially women. I feel like we wanna do everything right, and so when something doesn't go, right for us or something goes wrong, we almost just tear ourselves down and we're like, "No, no, 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 it's the end of the world, I
Yeah.
messed this up or this didn't happen exactly as I wanted it." But as you said, we take everything way too seriously in that sense where sometimes it's okay to make mistakes and it's okay to say, "You know what? I might not have done my best on this, and that's okay because I know next time I do this, I'm going to try a little bit harder, and that's all I can ask of myself."
Yeah, and not to exactly what you said, but also not to identify ourselves with what we're thinking. Often it's never really what we're thinking, but what we make it mean that is worse. Like thinking, for example, I failed at this. It's not just I failed at it and then you can do something else. So you said that, and next time you're gonna say something differently. It's because you are beating ourselves up, like having this, like going into spiral. Thinking, oh, I'm such a bad person. Yeah, I'm always like this. I hear this for my clients, and it's touching me so much because they make really their worst depend on what they're doing, on what they said, and it's really not the case. Like, we should never identify ourselves with first what we're thinking, 100% not. We are not our thoughts, but also not identifying ourselves with something that happened. It doesn't mean anything about us. This is when it comes to serious, and I like to break it and saying, yeah, it's not that serious, that. And then most of the time people are laughing, like the clients, and are smiling because it's true. You don't know what you don't know, So we need first to put light on what we're currently thinking.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Yes. I love it because that passion really shows through, which I think
Thank
is
you.
so powerful. Yeah, absolutely. And to really connect everything for our listeners, what is one thing that our listeners should take away from this conversation?
Yes, I would say calming myself down, feeling grounded. No, I think it's important to take it seriously, confidence. I think we should teach this stuff at school, and I used to be a teacher, so I really see how much it could help kids also feel better and not, compare themselves. I see this a lot. I used to see this a lot. So I think it's important to really, for girls, women, to, if anything would be possible, what would they want their life to look like? I'm 100% sure that everything is possible. And now I believe we live in the best time ever. I'm sure that we can have time to work and have kids if we want to, get married, not getting married. I think that everything is possible also because we can get coached on our thoughts, on what people's expectations have of us. And I have a lot to say, about this because I'm, for one, not necessarily having kids, not getting married. And so I did a lot of work around this. So I love to help people to feel the same way, and loving their life despite of what other people may think. So to take it seriously, with your life, what do you want your life to look like? And at the same time, not taking it too seriously. And this comes down to, really pay attention to what you're thinking and not believing things that you're thinking. And I think it's a skill to develop, really, to pay attention, to observe yourself thinking. But when you see, you cannot observe 60,000 thoughts per day, but very often when we get, triggered with lots of emotions, it always comes down to what we're thinking. So then when you realize and you're just like, it's my brain, brain's got a brain, I always love saying that our brain's job is not to make us happy. Our brain's job is to keep us alive. So this is why 85% of things that we're thinking on a daily basis is going to be negative because it's looking for danger every single day. So when you know this, you are aware of it, and then you don't take it so serious that your brain is criticizing this person, criticizing you, so you just take it more chill and have much more fun, for sure, in a nutshell.
Exactly. And for all of our listeners that do not want to stop hearing your amazing wisdom, because I know that I've definitely learned a lot from this episode.
So nice.
Where can our listeners connect with you?
Yes, so I have a website that I started a few years ago that is called personaldevelopmentzone.com. And there I share also 11 believable thoughts that you can think, anybody can think in an instant to already feel more confident. So, and you can find me also on Instagram. That is Fun Confidence Coach. Tamara. Yeah, I forgot my first name.
Absolutely. And we'll have that linked below in the episode description box for everyone. So definitely go check out Tamara. And again, I want to say thank you so much for coming on to the podcast, Tamara. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you so much for your time. I'm very honored. So thank you so much, really, to you and to all our listeners for keeping the good work and having fun.
Thank you. That brings us to the end of another empowering episode on Claim Your Potential, the Empowerment Podcast. Thanks for listening. If you've enjoyed our show and want to learn more about the work we do, you can visit our website, claimyourpotential.org. There, you can access our tools and workbooks, sign up for workshops, join our mentorship program, listen to previous and future episodes, donate to support our cause, and find out how you can get involved. For even more inspiring content, follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Claim Potential, where we share inspiration, educational resources, episode and program announcements, and other content designed to help you reach your full potential. Your support means the world to us, and a free way to support our show is by leaving a rating and review on the podcast streaming platform of your choice. Your feedback helps us grow and reach even more people with our empowering message. If you're unsure of how to do this, Head over to our website's Leave a Review page for step-by-step instructions. Thank you to each and every one of you for being a part of this empowering community. Tune in next time as we continue our journey of learning and discover even more ways to claim your potential. Until then, remember that you have the power to create the life you desire. Keep striving and keep growing.